For centuries, the name Timbuktu has been used to describe somewhere distant, mysterious, almost mythical. Many people imagine it as a forgotten desert town, isolated from the great currents of history. But the truth is far more remarkable. There was a time when Timbuktu was not remote at all. It was one of the intellectual capitals of the world. Long before modern universities dominated global education, long before digital technology connected knowledge across continents, this West African city stood at the center of scholarship, research, and innovation. Between the 14th and 16th centuries, Timbuktu became a magnet for scholars, traders, and thinkers from across Africa and beyond. Its rise was shaped by geography. Positioned along major trans-Saharan trade routes, the city connected North Africa, West Africa, and the Mediterranean world. Caravans crossed vast deserts carrying salt, gold, textiles, and something even more valuable, books. In Timbuktu, manuscripts were treasured possessions. They were bought, sold, copied, and preserved with immense care. Owning a library was a symbol of prestige, learning, and influence. Knowledge was not just respected, it was wealth. Much of this intellectual expansion was supported by visionary leadership, especially under the rule of Mansa Musa. Often remembered as one of the wealthiest individuals in history, his influence extended far beyond material riches. He invested heavily in education, scholarship, and architecture. During his famous pilgrimage to Mecca, he encountered scholars from across the Islamic world and encouraged many to settle in his empire. Schools expanded, mosques grew into learning centers, and Timbuktu flourished as a place where knowledge shaped power. His belief was simple but transformative. Empires rise through learning, not just resources. At the heart of Timbuktu's academic life stood Sankore Madrasa, one of the most significant centers of higher learning in the medieval world. It functioned much like a university, attracting thousands of students who studied mathematics, astronomy, law, medicine, philosophy, and literature. Scholars engaged in rigorous debate and research, producing work that rivaled intellectual developments in other global centers of learning. Education in Timbuktu was disciplined, respected, and deeply valued, producing generations of thinkers whose ideas traveled far beyond the desert city. The true treasure of Timbuktu, however, lay in its manuscripts. Hundreds of thousands of handwritten texts circulated throughout the city, preserved in private homes and scholarly institutions. These works covered an astonishing range of subjects: advanced mathematics, detailed astronomical observations, legal systems, medical knowledge, poetry, ethics, and political theory. Some writings explored governance, justice, and social responsibility centuries before similar ideas spread widely elsewhere. Timbuktu was not simply preserving knowledge from other civilizations. It was producing original thought and contributing meaningfully to global intellectual history. Many of these historic texts still survive today, carefully preserved by organizations such as the Ahmed Baba Institute, named after one of the city's most celebrated scholars. The institute protects fragile manuscripts that have endured centuries of political change, environmental threats, and conflict. Their survival is extraordinary. For generations, families hid manuscripts in walls, buried them in chests, and secretly transported them across deserts to keep them safe. Entire intellectual traditions were preserved not by governments but by ordinary people who understood their value. Over time, Timbuktu's global influence declined as trade routes shifted and empires weakened. Yet the knowledge never disappeared. Today, historians and researchers are rediscovering its legacy, revealing a sophisticated intellectual culture deeply engaged with science, philosophy, and law. Timbuktu reminds us that great centers of knowledge have always existed wherever curiosity thrives, and that Africa has long been